It all started as a whisper, a quiet, almost imperceptible rumor that traveled through the corridors of privilege, behind closed doors, and across continents. In the glittering world of royalty, where every smile and wave is scrutinized, this particular whisper carried the weight of something almost unthinkable, that Archie and Lilibet, the beloved children of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, might not have been born in the way the public had always assumed. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. At first, it was dismissed. Royal insiders, journalists, and even the closest friends of the Sussexes would exchange a nervous laugh when the topic surfaced. Of course not, they would say, masking curiosity with disbelief. Yet the seed of speculation had been planted. And once planted, seeds have a way of growing, twisting their roots through rumor mills, tabloids, and eventually, social media. But behind every rumor, there is often a kernel of truth. And in this case, that truth was waiting patiently in the shadows, quietly guarded by one woman who had watched her daughter's life explode under the unforgiving glare of the public eye. That woman is none other than Doria Ragland, mother, grandmother, and the enigmatic presence in Meghan's life whose wisdom and guidance have always been understated yet unwavering. For years, Doria's involvement in Meghan's life was subtle, almost invisible. She rarely sought the limelight. While Meghan and Harry were navigating public appearances, interviews, and global headlines, Doria maintained a low profile, appearing only when necessary and always with a warm, grounding presence. But those who knew her understood. She was fiercely protective, deeply loyal, and possessed an uncanny understanding of the complexities surrounding her daughter. And it was this protective instinct that had kept the biggest secret of all hidden for years. The first whispers, the earliest whispers of surrogacy, or that the children's births had some element of secrecy, originated in subtle ways. Observers noted certain patterns. Delayed announcements, cryptic interviews, and the occasional slip of language in public statements. Fans dissected photographs for weeks, searching for any hint of an unusual timeline or inconsistencies. In royal circles, those who were close to the Sussexes spoke in hushed tones, careful not to spread speculation beyond trusted ears. One insider would later recount how, in private conversation, there had been a passing comment about the planning of the children's births. It wasn't explicit. It was almost casual, but in the world of those who are trained to read between lines, it was enough to spark curiosity and, eventually, concern. For Doria, every whisper represented a delicate balance. She had to protect her daughter from the media frenzy that could erupt at any moment, while also shielding her grandchildren from intrusive speculation. And she did so with a quiet precision that few ever noticed. The weight of secrecy. Secrecy is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it protects those you love. On the other, it isolates you. Doria, by necessity, carried both edges. She became the silent guardian of the Sussex family's most intimate truths. While the world debated headlines, hashtags, and leaked rumors, she observed quietly, taking mental notes of the narratives that needed correcting and those that needed shielding. Imagine the strain, knowing a truth so profound, so potentially explosive, and yet being unable to share it. Every family event, every interview, every social media post had to be considered for its potential to expose more than intended. Doria's life, in many ways, became a balancing act, one where one misstep could trigger global speculation that she had spent decades carefully avoiding. But why now? Why, at 69, did Doria finally choose to speak? Timing and pressure. The timing of Doria's revelation is not coincidental. In recent years, the Sussexes have faced intense media scrutiny, legal battles, and unprecedented global attention. Every move, from vacations to interviews, was dissected for narrative angles. Rumors about surrogacy had become persistent, and while the public continued to speculate, no one had confirmation. In this climate, Doria's decision to finally speak was a calculated move. She understood the power of narrative. If the truth was to come out, it would be better to present it herself than to allow rumor and speculation to dominate. And yet, she chose her words carefully, revealing enough to confirm the rumors without exposing every detail. a masterclass in discretion. This was not a casual confession. It was a deliberate, almost surgical revelation designed to protect, clarify, and, at the same time, command attention. The role of the mother. Doria's protective instincts were rooted not only in maternal love, but also in an acute awareness of public perception. She had watched her daughter, Meghan, endure relentless scrutiny, often for the most trivial or unfair reasons. She had seen the media distort facts, create false narratives, and exploit personal moments for public consumption. And she knew that revealing the truth about the children's births could ignite the same kind of firestorm. Yet, she also recognized that silence was no longer sustainable. The whispers had grown too loud, and speculation had reached a tipping point where it could no longer be ignored. For Doria, speaking out was an act of protection, protecting her grandchildren from the erosion of their narrative, protecting Meghan from continued misrepresentation, and ultimately, protecting the integrity of the family's truth. The global stakes. It's easy to underestimate the impact of such a revelation. In ordinary families, the truth about surrogacy might be a personal, private matter. But in the context of the Sussexes, every detail becomes global news. The confirmation that Archie and Lilibet were born via surrogacy does more than satisfy curiosity. It challenges traditional royal narratives, prompts legal and media analysis, and invites the public into a space they have never been allowed to enter before. Social media, with its rapid-fire speculation and relentless attention, amplifies every statement. Within hours of Doria's interview, millions of people would discuss, debate, and analyze her words. The ripple effect is staggering. Hashtags trending worldwide, international news coverage, opinion columns, and fan communities dissecting every nuance. Hints in plain sight. Looking back, the hints were always there. Subtle gestures, cryptic remarks, and careful wording in interviews could be interpreted differently depending on perspective. Some fans had speculated for years about the possibility of surrogacy based on minor details, but without confirmation, it remained in the realm of conjecture. Doria's revelation changes that. It transforms rumor into reality, speculation into verified truth. And yet, even now, she has not revealed everything, maintaining a level of discretion that continues to intrigue the public. The mystery is partially solved, but it is also deepened. And so, as the world waits with bated breath, one question remains. What exactly did Doria say, and how did the Sussexes respond? Because the moment she finally spoke, it wasn't just a revelation. It was a spark that would ignite global conversation, challenge assumptions, and force the royal family and the world to confront a truth that had been carefully hidden for decades. At first glance, Doria Ragland's life at 69 appears deceptively simple. There are no flashing cameras, no public appearances, no intrusive headlines. Just a quiet rhythm of mornings in Los Angeles, long walks, and afternoons spent reflecting on decades of experience. But beneath this calm surface lies a woman of extraordinary discipline, courage, and insight. Qualities that would ultimately shape one of the most shocking revelations in recent royal history. To understand Doria, one must first understand the contrast between her private life and the world that her daughter, Meghan, inhabits. Where Meghan's existence has been a continuous spectacle, broadcast across screens worldwide, Doria has cultivated a life of intentional anonymity. Yet this choice of privacy was not born of fear or avoidance. It was a strategy, a conscious decision to preserve the integrity of her family and her own peace of mind. The early hours of Doria's day. Doria's mornings are a ritual of quiet reflection. She rises early, often before the sun has fully lit the Los Angeles skyline, and begins with meditation. The calmness she cultivates is deliberate. In a world that thrives on noise, she has mastered the art of stillness. Breakfast is simple, often fruit and tea, accompanied by a moment of journaling. She writes not for public consumption, but to clarify her thoughts, process her emotions, and, at times, strategize for potential challenges, particularly those related to Meghan and her children. During these hours, Doria contemplates the intricacies of her family's life. She reflects on Meghan's journey from Hollywood to royalty, the whirlwind of public attention, and the media scrutiny that has followed every step. And always, she considers her grandchildren. Archie and Lilibet, the center of whispers, speculation, and now, the impending revelation that would shock the world. A life of discipline and purpose. What strikes those who know Doria is her balance of calm and sharpness. A former social worker and yoga instructor, she has spent her life guiding others, helping them navigate personal challenges and cultivating mindfulness. This discipline, both physical and mental, has equipped her with the tools to handle extreme stress. Skills that would prove invaluable when she chose to speak out. Doria's day is also filled with quiet acts of service. She engages in community work, volunteers for causes close to her heart, and maintains close connections with friends and family. She moves through life with intention, aware that every action, even one unnoticed by the world, carries weight. This meticulous approach to living may seem unremarkable at first glance, but in reality, it is the foundation upon which her ability to handle extraordinary family revelations rests. Watching from the sidelines, though physically distant from the chaos of royal life, Doria has always remained emotionally and mentally engaged. She follows Meghan's career, keeps in touch through private calls and visits, and quietly monitors media coverage. But unlike many who might be swept up in the spectacle, Doria exercises restraint. She analyzes, observes, and waits, knowing that the right moment for action is often more important than immediate reaction. Her ability to watch from the sidelines without interference has been critical. While tabloids and social media pundits speculated, Doria understood that premature statements could be weaponized or misinterpreted. She has seen the public's appetite for drama, the hunger for scandal, and the way truth can be distorted when released too early. A lifetime of perspective. At 69, Doria possesses a rare perspective. She has seen enough of the world to understand its dangers, yet she has lived long enough to value patience and wisdom over impulsive action. Her own experiences, raising Meghan as a single mother, navigating Hollywood's pressures, and fostering resilience in herself and those around her, have instilled a profound sense of judgment. This perspective would ultimately be the reason she was able to approach the revelation about Archie and Lilibet with both clarity and discretion. Unlike others who might have been swayed by emotion, curiosity, or the lure of attention, Doria approached the moment with purpose, to protect, to clarify, and to assert control over the family's narrative. Family bonds and loyalty. Doria's loyalty to her family is perhaps her defining trait. She has always placed Meghan and her grandchildren's well-being above public recognition or personal acclaim. Friends note that she often prioritizes family over social invitations, media opportunities, or even personal comfort. Her guidance is subtle, almost invisible, but powerful, a whispered word of advice, a comforting presence during tumultuous times, a shield against intrusion. This loyalty extends to her grandchildren. Despite the public's fascination with Archie and Lilibet, Doria has never treated them as public property. She respects their privacy fiercely, understanding that their lives are being shaped not only by love and family, but also by the relentless scrutiny of the media and the world. The preparation for revelation. Long before Doria's revelation became public, she had been preparing herself for this moment, consciously or unconsciously. Every quiet morning, every reflective walk, every private conversation with Meghan and Harry contributed to a readiness that would allow her to speak confidently and deliberately. She understood the stakes. She knew that confirming the surrogacy rumors would ripple across the globe, provoke debate, and possibly unsettle parts of the royal family. Yet, she also recognized the opportunity to reclaim the narrative, provide clarity, and protect her family from endless speculation. The emotional undertone. Despite her calm exterior, Doria's decision to speak was not without emotion. There is a vulnerability in revealing long-held truths, particularly when they concern loved ones. She had to weigh the potential consequences, consider the public reaction, and brace herself for both support and criticism. Her emotions were a blend of pride, fear, and resolve. Pride in her grandchildren, pride in Meghan, pride in the family she had helped nurture. Fear of misinterpretation, sensationalism, and backlash. And resolve, a quiet, unwavering commitment to do what she knew was right, no matter the cost. A life built for this moment. In many ways, Doria's quiet life at 69 was the perfect training ground for this revelation. Her discipline, perspective, loyalty, and emotional intelligence converged at a moment when timing, courage, and clarity were essential. What might have seemed like a tranquil, ordinary life was in fact a crucible, preparing her for an act that would alter public perception and history alike. Mini cliffhanger. And then, one ordinary day, in a controlled environment that she carefully orchestrated, Doria finally did what no one expected. She broke her silence. But when she began to speak, it wasn't just the surrogacy rumors she confirmed. It was a narrative that would ripple through royal circles, media networks, and homes across the world. The world thought it was ready for revelations about Meghan, Harry, and their children. The media had speculated endlessly, tabloids had printed wild theories, and social media had erupted with rumors that seemed too scandalous to be true. Yet, no one, not even the most seasoned royal observers, was prepared for Doria Ragland stepping into the spotlight at 69, sitting in a calm, intimate setting, and confirming the rumors about Archie and Lilibet. It started as an ordinary interview. The camera zoomed in on Doria, poised and composed, yet with the unmistakable presence of someone who had lived a life of observation, careful calculation, and quiet strength. She smiled gently, acknowledging the host, but there was an undercurrent of tension. An unspoken understanding that what she was about to say could shake the foundations of royal narrative. Setting the scene. The room was softly lit, a sense of warmth and intimacy pervading every frame. There were no flashy backdrops, no intrusive cameras hovering over her. It was a setting designed for focus, reflection, and careful communication. Doria's calm exterior contrasted sharply with the storm her words were about to unleash. From the first moments, the tone was serious yet approachable. She didn't rush, didn't embellish, didn't dramatize for effect. Every pause, every glance, every subtle shift in posture spoke volumes to the viewers, because in truth, it was never just about the words she would speak. It was about the authority, clarity, and authenticity behind them. The introduction. The interviewer began cautiously, aware of the weight of the moment. Questions were carefully phrased, almost as if probing for confirmation without forcing confrontation. And then, the critical question was asked. Doria, there have been years of speculation, whispers, rumors, and public curiosity about the true origins of Archie and Lilibet. Can you tell us anything? The world held its breath. Millions of viewers leaned closer to their screens. Social media notifications exploded even before her response, as insiders and casual viewers alike realized they were about to witness something historic. Doria's response. Doria's answer was deliberate, measured, and precise. I have always been a mother, a grandmother, and a protector of my family. For years, the speculation about Archie and Lilibet's birth has been difficult to watch because it has affected not just Meghan and Harry, but the children themselves. So yes, I can confirm that Archie and Lilibet were born through surrogacy. That has been our family's choice, and it was made with love, care, and the deepest consideration for everyone involved.